Hey, and just a quick reminder that the audio-only versions of these Vital MX interviews are available on the Vital MX podcast page. Search for it anywhere you get your pods and let your friends know about it. Hey, I just want to give a quick note with this Cameron McAdoo interview. There was a little bit of a phone issue where his phone was breaking up a little bit, and there was a little bit of background noise. I don't think it's too bad. You guys should be able to still enjoy it. Some good stuff, so I appreciate it if you stick through it. Thanks. Hey guys, it's Darkside here again with Vital MX. This time I've got from Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Cameron McAdoo. What's up, dude?
How are you guys?
I'm doing good, man. Doing real good. Just excited for the season to start off. But hey, before we get into your interview, I was doing a little research a couple hours ago, just, making some notes, and I noticed that some guy named Weege did an interview with you last night, I think, and posted something. I need you to refute anything he said. Make sure we all know it's all fake news.
Oh man, Weege. Yeah. No, he's a good guy. Yeah. We just did a little podcast. Yeah, it was last night. Kind of funny. I've had like 4 people now reach out to me just yesterday, or no, it might have been Monday, reached out about like interviews and podcasts this week, and I'm like, it must be that time of year when everyone's kind of getting some 2023 preseason content going around and getting things rolling.
Yeah, we're all excited about it. Yeah, I texted him. I was like, I cannot believe that you did this interview. I'm about to do one with him. And he said, hey, I won. So I was like, yeah, I guess so. I guess you win this time, Weege. But anyway, all right, man. Yeah, 2023 Supercross season's coming up. You came off a AAC separation at the end of last Supercross season. And I wonder how many people forget, like, how you had Jet Lawrence. You were keeping him honest, right? You were right there. Fantastic results. I think you got a third at Daytona and a second at Detroit before the injury. You were having a great year before the injury.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously the injury was a super bummer. It always is for all of us, but
sure.
I had what we had felt like was good momentum, and I think my results were, like you said, like 3-2, 3 or 3-1, 3, and then I had a couple seconds, but I'd kind of closed that gap. He had a little bit on me, at the beginning of the season, speed wise and such, but we were closing the gap and the points were very close, and, all the things were looking like it, could turn out good. And then just one little deal, like something, very, very dumb and press day that took me out of it, which was, frustrating, and still is talking about it now, but
right,
part of it. And I'm really looking forward to capitalizing on, the gains that we've made each year, and also the improvements that I've made just in this offseason.
Yeah. So you said you've been making some improvements. What specifically have you been working on?
I don't really know if I could say specifically.
Okay.
But, I mean, just all my weaknesses, like that's really what you have to work on each year, and working on my strengths. Also, I think that's something that might get forgotten about a little bit when, it's always kind of the goal is to work on your weaknesses, but we have our strengths for a reason. So we might as well make the very best of them.
Well, go ahead.
I think that, my weaknesses, I've shrunk them, and I've gotten, I've fixed some things with my riding and just with my all-around program the last few years, and it's shown, and I just want to continue to improve and be better each time and each year.
So it's funny, I have literally one of the last questions I was going to ask you tonight is, what is your weakness? So give me an idea of what a couple of those things are that you had to improve on.
I think one of the biggest things is trying too hard at times, and where I place my effort, because I'm so determined at times, and I guess I want it so bad, just like everyone else does. But sometimes it can kind of be counterproductive for me. Mm-hmm. Just toning some things back of what I'm doing and where, and riding technique, studying what's working the best for, racing.
Yeah, that's actually makes a ton of sense. Now I don't want to make this about Jet Lawrence in any way, but what I want to ask is, I've done some podcasts with some other guys, and they're like, all right, who do you see going to what coast? And I know you don't know where you're going yet, but there's always this question: if you're pro circuit or if you're star, who do you send to go race Jet? Because Jet's the whatever. Do you care about that? Like, if I'm you, that's who I want to go race. I want to race the best. I don't know if pro circuit would avoid that, certain riders and put other riders there, whatever the theory is. I would think you would want to go race whoever the best is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of limelight shined on, some specific riders, obviously due to results as well, but I don't think it's only result related. I think that it's pretty easy to, we've got some superstars in our sport, and that happens. And I want to go race. You know what I mean? I just want to race whoever at their best, and do my very best each time. And yeah, I don't really care who's where and what's going on, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of fast guys. There's not, I think there's 8 to 10 really, really fast guys who all want to win and expect to win just as much. So, yeah, it doesn't really affect me and what my best result is or what my best version of myself is, who I'm on the racetrack with.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Being in SoCal with Pro Circuit, you kind of sometimes get stuck at riding at the team test track. I know you went to Mumford's recently. Do you feel like it would be a benefit to be able to go east and train at multiple tracks, ride different places, ride with different people? Or do you kind of like having the routine of being at just this one or two places and doing your laps?
Honestly, I'm very fortunate to where Kawasaki they've invested in multiple tracks for us. We have 4 different of our own private tracks, all in different locations, different dirt, different everything. So, and then Mitch Pro Circuit has our 2 tracks at Glen Helen that, they've provided us with. So we have access to a lot of different tracks. And then there's also 2 to 3 public tracks that we can go ride if we want to go, mix it up with different riders or whatever. But I really like the program that I have of, being here. And I think it's the best version of being on the West Coast and going east. Like, I think there's, it works for some guys and there's benefit to it in some areas, but, we've only got a certain amount of tracks to ride on. Even the guys east that are at these facilities, there's, you only have a couple tracks, but we are, fortunate enough to have a lot of access to a lot of good tracks.
Yeah, I was actually out there a few weeks ago, and I was up on the upper track. Michael Lindsay was doing a photo shoot with Brock Tickle, and I was watching over the fence. You guys spin some laps. And the thing that I noticed, and we always talk about this every year, is there's a fast line and there's a groove, and pretty much everybody sticks in those lines. And I wonder how difficult it is to get any real racecraft from that. What you do to work on racecraft, making yourself uncomfortable. Do you take lines that aren't the good lines at times and force yourself to look for different things so that when it comes time to race, you are comfortable with being uncomfortable, as they say?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's all about adaptation, right? Like, the tracks always change, and especially at the races, but even at the practice track, like, we've got actually this year and last year more so too, like the last couple of years, we've linked up with the factory Cowie guys as well, and been riding with the 450 guys pretty much every day. So most days it's me. I've got 5 teammates with Ryder DeFrancisco and all those guys, and then Tedesco will be testing, and then we'll have Adam, and then we'll have Jason. So we have a lot of bikes on the track, and it really breaks them down pretty well to be able to, I guess, simulate as much as we can with race conditions and the way you prep the track, or the we water it, that all changes things. So yeah, we definitely do our best to really simulate the best and closest race conditions we can.
How much time do you take just to sit and talk with a guy like Jason Anderson or Adam that's been around for quite a while, listen to what they have to say, what maybe they have the advice, just their experience? Do you get to spend some time and just really take all that info in?
I don't really spend a whole lot of time. I don't really talk to Jason a whole lot. I mean, we just say what's up, BS, aside from everything, we're not super close.
Okay.
He's cool, but we don't train together or anything. I spend some more time around Adam, but honestly, Nick Way's my trainer.
Yep.
And he has so much knowledge and so much experience with our sport, and he's like such a great asset for me, not only as a trainer or a coach, but just life in general. Like he's a good dude. So he's really where I feel that I get my most, information and knowledge and learning racecraft, learning a lot of things from.
Yeah, and he's a fun dude to talk to. So I love,
totally.
Yeah, I love listening to him break things down. So that's perfect. How do you feel you are as a tester? What things have you changed this season to find improvements? Are you really in tune with suspension, engine stuff that, you can figure out what you need to be better?
I've definitely improved over the years. It's a hard thing, especially at first when I first started racing pro, because especially the way my amateur career kind of went, there was no such thing as testing. I just sent some suspension to a company and they sent me back stuff valved for my weight, and that was just the way it was. So it was a pretty steep learning curve, and sometimes you feel like you need to have an answer or you need to have, what you like better or not. But to answer your question better, I've gotten a lot better at it, and I do feel that I can set my bike up for myself fairly well, and but I also have really good technicians around me that are working with me and that are able to actually use what I have to say and know what I'm kind of feeling or looking for.
Yep.
I think it takes a lot of work from both ends. It's not just the rider that tells them do this to my bike. It's like I'm more like, this is what I feel. I don't really know exactly what the change needs to be, but that's their job, and they're really good at relaying that information. Or I can relay my information to them, and they can make a change accordingly.
Okay. We're deep into the off season. I mean, there's 4 or 5 weeks before A1 gets here. And again, I don't know if you're East Coast or West Coast, but in the next month, how much better can you get, on the bike? How much better can you get the bike? Or are we pretty much at the point where we know where we're at, we're just maintaining, or are we still improving?
I don't ever really feel like I'm just maintaining, because I think with that mindset, it's you can get complacent. I'm always improving. That's why I wake up and work my butt off every single day, is because I want to improve. Unless you feel like you could win every dirt bike race that we go to every time, then you always have to improve. So, but it's very minimal improvements each time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can just improve a little bit, or each day, or each week, but yeah, it gets to where we get to a pretty high level, and we're not taking seconds off.
Right. Yeah.
So
recently, obviously the off-season races kind of all happened. The OzX stuff, Paris, World Supercross. Some of the guys, some of the top, Eli, Kenny, whatever, they went over, did some of these races. I don't even know if you're allowed to work riding at Pro Circuit, but if the opportunity was there, would you want to go do a few of those to get some gate drops? Seems like that would be better practice to get some race situations.
Yeah, I actually did a lot of those off-season races in 2018 going into 2019 off-season, because I was didn't have a ride anywhere, so I just was able to do kind of whatever whenever, and I really enjoyed it. I like going to the other countries. I liked racing the other tracks, and the experience was awesome, and it was it felt like it was great prep to even feel those nerves and do gate drops and just do the actual racing. That was really cool. You know, they don't really like us to do any off-season races and stuff like that outside of the U.S. and outside of our series at Kawasaki. And you know, a lot of it is obviously to protect their investment with what the main focus is on, which is AMA Supercross and Pro Motocross. So that's obviously very understandable. And you know, but yeah, I do think those are fun races, and you know, I think that eventually in the future I'll definitely do some.
Good deal. Looking back, 2017, I believe, was your rookie year. Came in with Moto Concepts, fill in at Geico, stayed there a couple years, moved on to TLD in the middle of the season, kind of bouncing around a little bit, you know, finding rides, finding your place. Now you've been at Pro Circuit a couple years. Like, how do you feel your career path has gone? Like, when you look back on it, what do you think of?
It's been very eventful for sure, but you know, pre 2017, call it 2016, and before that, the trajectory of where it was going to look like to go for me, or what, you know, kind of the normal is, it didn't even really seem like a possibility to most, just because kind of the way to the top of our sport is usually starts very young. And I definitely did not start very young. I didn't even really start even training until I was 16. I went to public school, and it was just an awesome hobby for us and my family. And so, you know, if you'd have told me in 2015 or 16 that I'd be in the position I'm in now, I'd have been like, sign me up right now.
Right.
You know, yeah, like I wish, but, you know, as you evolve, like, your expectations get higher and you work for that. And it's been fun. I think I've learned a lot, and it's been, at the end of the day, like, it's just helped me a lot as a person. I think it's, you know, I've learned a lot of how to work with people, you know, how business works, and it's been fun. But I'm really, really fortunate in the position I'm in right now to be, you know, solid on a team. I've been at Pro Circuit for 3 years, going on 4 now. So I have great relationships with everyone here, and you know, I feel like I belong. At the beginning of my pro career, I filled in a lot. I just kind of jumped around. I didn't have a whole lot of results to, you know, speak for themselves. So it's tough to feel like you really belong, or to be so sure of yourself. But yeah, it's good to have confidence and know that I've earned the position I'm in.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch you progress, man. Definitely. Couple more questions. I don't think you're even remotely close to pointing out. I haven't looked, but what are your thoughts on any 450 opportunities? Are you thinking about that at all? Are you pretty, you know, happy just having a 250 ride? I think you can still earn a really good living, and I know you want a championship. So, like, where do you fall on that?
I mean, obviously the main goal for sure as a racer is to be, you know, at the top level of the 450 class. That's where it's the very best and the most lucrative, obviously, for financially and just everything. That's the top of our sport. So that's what I work for, and that's where my goals are to be. But yeah, I just want to focus on the task at hand right now. And right now I want to, you know, be the best for my team currently, and do my best as a 250 rider. And, you know, I've got 2 more years here right now. And yeah, we're going to work our butts off to, you know, try and put another or a couple more plates on Mitch's door.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this the other day, just thinking about professional motocrossers and, you know, how their amateur careers are this is very consumed. The family's very consumed usually by this amateur career. You sort of just touched on that yours was a little different, but I was going to ask, like, you have a sister, and, you know, how your family, how your siblings deal with when you get all this focus on a sport. But then I found an article that I guess at one point your sister was actually better than you. So just want to talk about your childhood racing and your sister Mackenzie, I guess, being pretty fast at one time.
Yeah. Honestly, for us, we started racing young. Our neighbors had dirt bikes, and we got dirt bikes, and we just all loved it as a family. There was no focus on me or, you know, my parents. Just, I think, you know, they just did their best to raise their kids the very best they could, and create a ton of, you know, experiences and good times. And that was kind of like what racing was for us. That was our vacation. We didn't take family vacations. We would, you know, go down south to race, because I grew up in Iowa. So yeah, and there was never even really there was never a, I guess, thought to even do it professionally, or it wasn't, you know, we went to school, like I was, you know, we were just a normal family that just, you know, loved to do it. And then later on, my sister's 4.5 years older than me. I started taking it more serious, and it's, you know, gotten me here. But my sister, she's in the U.S. Navy, and so she's been gone since I was like 14 is when she left, or 13. And yeah, she supports my career so big. Like, she loves it, and she's super proud of where, you know, it's brought me, and I'm super proud of where she's at. You know, it's pretty cool. But yeah, she always beat me up growing up, and was faster than me up until I was probably on 85ers for me.
Right.
And that was kind of when she was pretty much done racing, but she would go to Loretta's each year. It was a top 10 Loretta's in the women's class. And in those days, the women's class was, there was a lot more women racing, you know?
Yeah, it was a big thing back then.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So basically, it sounds like if maybe she hadn't changed her life goals, she might be in racing Supercross also.
Yeah, I don't know. She kind of got hurt quite often. Like, when she'd crash, she'd break collarbones super easy, and she was over getting hurt because she didn't want to have any issues. Like, her dream growing up was to be a Marine or in the military of some sort. So she didn't want to not be able to go in the military because of it. And so that was why she kind of quit racing.
That's cool for her. Awesome.
Yeah.
2 more questions. You recently got married. Maddie is now Maddie McAdoo. Congratulations. How's that been?
You.
How's that been?
Been awesome. You know, not a ton has really changed, which I think is a good thing. But yeah, it's been cool. It's a huge commitment, and it's an exciting time in our lives, and we're enjoying it for sure.
She gonna get back in? She gonna get in the studio anytime soon, or do any music?
No, she's actually stepped away from music early last year, and she's going a different route. So yeah, she decided that wasn't what she wanted to do with her life, and so she went a different route.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. This is a personality type question that I think is sort of funny, and I ask people every once in a while. And I'm going to tell you ahead of time, there is only one right answer. When you hang your toilet paper roll, does the paper come over the top, off the front, or does it go over the back?
Oh my gosh, come on. It goes off the top over the front.
Perfect. All right.
Oh my gosh.
If
it goes off the back, that's a backwards toilet paper roll every time. That's not acceptable. I
agree. McGrath said the same thing. So, yep, you're in the same company as Jeremy McGrath.
Yeah, no.
Awesome. Hey, Cameron, I'm going to let you go. I look forward to seeing you, man, whether it's West Coast, East Coast. I want to see you do some battling, man. I can't wait.
Yep, look forward to it. Thanks for talking.
Absolutely, buddy. Take care.
All right.
Yeah.